My guest today is Jennifer Sartin, a licensed chemical dependency counselor with a private practice in Keller. Jennifer, we're here to talk about the fentanyl crisis, but let's start with a misconception that you like to talk to the public about. What is the difference between fentanyl and carfentanyl?
Fentanyl, if you've ever known someone who's had cancer and gone through, or somebody with severe pain, you might have seen fentanyl patches. They come under the brand name Duragesic.
Mhm.
And the patch, if you and I put a fentanyl patch on right now with zero tolerance, we would probably get sick to our stomach. We might vomit,
Mhm.
but we wouldn't overdose.
Mm.
Carfentanyl is 100 times, I think it's 100 times more potent than regular fentanyl. And when you hear on the news that they have done a drug bust at the border, and they'll show a bag of pills, and then they'll say this amount could kill half the country. And it sounds hyperbolic, but it's true.
Mhm.
And I remember having a client who used to sell the illegal pills. So I said to him, this is going to sound odd, but there's a certain kind of bonding experience that goes on in a counseling session like this. I'm also in recovery 19 years, so I have so I'm kind of bonding with people that way. And I said, if I were to relapse, it sounds to me like I would have to take this tiny pill. Perk 30s is what's in our area killing and or creating parents finding their kids unresponsive. They call whoever sells Perk 30s, which is Percocet 30 milligrams. So I said, if I were to relapse in a safe way, I would take this tiny pill and I would cut it like a pie, and let's say 8 pieces, and I would take one little piece and take it to make sure it was safe. And he said, you're still thinking about this wrong. And he said, you're still thinking about a drug that's made here legally, that all of the
Uniform.
substance
Yeah.
is equally,
Mhm.
in the it's all kind of equally, what's the word I'm looking for?
Distributed or yeah.
Yeah. And he said the carfentanyl might be in that one little piece that you take and you're dead.
Hmm.
And that's kind of when everything clicked.
Hmm.
And, about 5 years ago, if you were to buy a Perk 30 from a drug dealer, it looked like a child had made it with a Play-Doh mold. It was so very obvious that it was a fake pill. Today, they look like you picked them up at CVS. So that's a really dangerous factor that's new.
Why are drug dealers selling a product that is so deadly? A lot of folks are wondering about this.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense. Why would you sell something? Why would that's going to kill your customers?
Hmm.
And that's a great question. So I get a lot of people who are knowingly addicted to carfentanyl. And so usually the kids that are inexperienced, they've been had their wisdom teeth out, or it typically starts in their own home in their medicine cabinet. Somebody had surgery and they were given Percocet. The kid takes Percocet, loves it, and wants more. And so that's how most of these overdoses and deaths are happening. And I shouldn't use the word overdose because it's more of a poisoning or a murder. An
Hmm.
overdose is you and I foolishly took too much. Now, there's the big population of people who knowingly are taking carfentanyl or fentanyl that's in these pills because it's stronger. They've got the tolerance. They like it better. And uh gosh, thank God for editing.
Gives them the high they want, right? Yeah.
Pardon me?
Okay, it gives them the high they want, I assume. Yeah.
It gives them the high they want. And the part about the drug dealer is the half-life of especially the illicit fentanyl or carfentanyl is so short that you'll start to go into withdrawal within hours and you'll be back at the drug dealer.
Okay.
So it's good for business in that way,
Hmm.
but without tolerance, it will kill you.
Okay.
If
So
that
the
makes
customers
sense.
come back very quickly, even though they know some of these people will die sadly. They know the general customer base is going to return within a day to buy more.
Less than hours.
Oh, that soon. Okay.
And the opioid withdrawal,
Mhm.
honestly, is the most painful sickness
Hmm.
I have ever had and probably ever will have.
Yeah.
So that is why people go to such great lengths
Hmm.
to not run out, whether that looks like holding up pharmacies,
Hmm.
all the crazy things that
Mhm.
you hear on the
Mhm.
news that people are doing. It's to prevent that.
Wow. Well, it's an incredibly dangerous drug. So this next question is important. How do I help someone who has an addiction? Maybe I'm a parent, I want to help my child, but and then also, how do I prevent my child from becoming addicted in the first place?
So because addiction has such it your DNA is a big part of addiction. And for instance, I was going to be addicted, it was going to happen no matter what because of the family history. And my dad's side of the family, all three of his siblings died before 40. So I really got that. Then you combine that with the addictive personality, and I had the perfect storm. I'm 0 or 100 still to this day. This one is real scary.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, and this is a little dramatic, but I talked to my mom the other day, and I was almost in tears, and I just said, if I have to sit in my office and watch another man sob because he found his child unresponsive, it's just very difficult. It's very difficult to take. And one of the issues that is very new waters that I'm navigating right now, along with everybody else, is addiction counseling is changing dysfunctional thinking and behaviors
Mhm.
that have been present for years.
Mhm.
And because opioid withdrawal is so painful and psychologically painful, when someone comes in who's overdosed, that's my first question. How are your withdrawal symptoms? All of that. And they've never been addicted. They've never been dependent. They've never been through withdrawal. So
Mhm.
my counseling with this whole carfentanyl crisis is not undoing all of the dysfunctional thinking and behaviors. It's more of impulse control, decision making. It's just quite different. And
Mhm.
you can't really send someone who's used a total of 5 times to inpatient treatment.
Mhm. Well, this crisis is not going away anytime soon, unfortunately. So we need good, accurate information. You're a good source for that. So thanks for talking to us. And again, we encourage folks who are interested in this to visit your website, and you're welcoming them to text you. So folks, go ahead and start learning about this from the experts. Jennifer, thanks for the work you do in Keller and for our community and for bringing this to our attention.
Absolutely. And I'm available to answer whether you have a kid that's got problems or not. Any
Mhm.
questions? I'm an open book.
Okay. We'll hold you to it. Thank you, Jennifer.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Appreciate it.